The tidal wave of AI spending continues. Shares of Alibaba surging this morning after ramping up its AI investment target. And in just 48 hours, OpenAI announcing a build-out equivalent to 17 nuclear reactors, totaling $850 billion in spending. For today's Tech Check, Mackenzie Sagalos asked OpenAI CEO Sam Altman about the increased spend. Mac.
Hey, Leslie. So roughly $50 billion per gigawatt. OpenAI's projects from just the past 2 days add up to nearly half of the $2 trillion global AI infrastructure surge HSBC now forecasts. The scale is staggering, even for a company raising a record amount of private market cash. I spoke to OpenAI CEO Sam Altman in Abilene, Texas. He called this the largest infrastructure push of the modern internet era and acknowledged that the $850 billion build-out may look scary from the outside, but argued that it's the only way to keep up with demand that's already grown tenfold in the last 18 months.
And this is what it takes to deliver AI. AI, unlike previous technological revolutions or previous versions of the internet, there's so much infrastructure that's required. And this is a small sample of it.
Now, Altman insisted the building boom is in response to soaring demand, noting that OpenAI is growing faster than any business that he's ever heard of. He also pushed back on bubble fears, saying, yes, people will get burned, but every past technological revolution has gone through cycles just like this.
People will get burned on overinvesting, and people will also get burned on underinvesting and not having enough capacity. Smart people will get overexcited, and people will lose a lot of money, people will make a lot of money. But I am confident that long-term, the value of this technology is going to be gigantic to society.
Now, one tech company that could be worried about underinvesting is Alibaba. It just revealed plans to increase its spending on AI models and infrastructure development on top of the $53 billion that it already committed to spending on its big AI push, really underscoring just how global this Gen AI arms race has become. Guys?
Mac, can you remind us just kind of where the arms race sits with regard to U.S. spending versus China? I mean, it sounds like, just based on what the hyperscalers are doing all the way through the supply chain for AI, that the U.S. is well ahead in terms of its spending. And do we even have a clear picture of how much China is spending outside of the $53 billion or so that Alibaba upped its target to today?
So Alibaba is one of those companies that wants to compete both as a hyperscaler, potentially a chip maker, and then it also has its large language models. Part of this announcement was that they would have the latest version of Qwen. That's the name of their LLM. But to your point, how does this spending compare? That's something that they didn't disclose yet, the amount of money that they're going to be adding onto that $53 billion budget. What we do know is that Alibaba is opening new data centers in Brazil, France, and the Netherlands. And part of that has to do with co-location, wanting to be closer to where your end user is so that the models move faster. We also know that in China, Tencent and Baidu have been competing with the model makers, competing with the likes of Anthropic and OpenAI. CEO Eddie Wu of Alibaba really underlining this fact that they want to be more of a player in this hyperscaler competition, be more self-sufficient. And you know what? NVIDIA being blocked from selling their chips into the country is really helping them with that ambition.
I'll tell you what's really interesting, Mac, is this. We are clearly in an environment, and you can look at a 5-year of BABA, where companies are being rewarded for spending a ton of money, and that gets reflected in what China, a large cap tech, has done versus the S&P.
Well, it's absolutely true. I mean, Alibaba just had its best day. Its shares had its best day in 4 years. I'm looking at the K-Web right here. It's up 3%. Just today, up 46% this year. That is an ETF that tracks China's biggest internet names. And so it is certainly an age where you're putting these blockbuster, multi-billion-dollar deal announcements out there and you're being rewarded in the stock market. Yesterday, I was out in Abilene, Texas, reporting on an expanded infrastructure build between the likes of SoftBank, Oracle, and OpenAI. In the after hours, we saw NVIDIA, which is also a part of this, moving higher after selling off during the day.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the risk of underinvesting in this space is more prominent than overinvesting. Mackenzie, thanks for being all over it. Mackenzie Sagalos.